Hello, my name is Jeff Ulmer, and I've written a retrospective about my symbolic interactionist mentor, David Maines. David was one of the key founders of the Society for the Study of Symbolic Interaction. He edited the journal Symbolic Interaction, which this retrospective appears in. He won the SSI's Mead Award, which is the key career award in SSI. He was this major interactionist scholar, and yet he had this institutionally marginal career for most of his life, as I explain. But this marginal career, this institutionally marginal career, enabled him to work with many key figures in the symbolic interactionist perspective, and it gave him an outsider's perspective and a fire and a passion to defend symbolic interactionism and to help define it and what it is and what it is not. I don't want this retrospective, though, to just be a look back at David's life and career, though. What I want to do is explain the key themes of David's work and how these form a sociology that's useful today. David emphasized the 5 key characteristics of the symbolic interactionist perspective: interpretation and meaning, the centrality of communication to social life, temporality and process, agency, and dialectical thinking rather than dualistic thinking. So, for example, thinking of things like subjective and objective and micro versus macro as mutually constituting dialectics rather than opposed dualisms. David's work his own research had 4 themes, and they were each major contributions to the interactionist perspective. 1, he helped recover and explicate Mead's theory of time and temporality in the interactionist perspective and for sociology. He had a lifelong interest and passion for debunking myths about symbolic interactionism. Myths such as that the perspective is anti-quantitative, that it's astructural, that it ignores social structure and inequality and power relations. He showed that these things were false characterizations. He coined the term mesostructure, which is a distinctively interactionist concept and approach to social organization and social structure that emphasizes process and how it's structured by larger contexts. Finally, and most prominently, David's work helped to bring narrative scholarship from communication studies into sociology, and in particular to symbolic interactionism. My wish is for this retrospective to foster a new and continued appreciation for David's sociology, a Mainesian interactionist sociology. This Mainesian interactionist sociology excludes no topic or method. It's simply sociology conducted through pragmatist assumptions rather than positivistic ones. It insists that empiricism and positivism are not the same thing, and that symbolic interactionism is actually more empirical than positivistic sociology because it's less naive about observation and interpretation. Finally, it replaces unproductive dualisms such as micro versus macro, process versus structure, qualitative versus quantitative, and instead sees these as dialectics that mutually constitute each other and which can only be interpreted with reference to the other. That's my hope for this retrospective.